My best friend gave me the best advice. He said each day's a gift and not a given right. Leave no stone unturned, leave your fears behind, and try to take the path less traveled by. That first step you take is the longest ride. If today was your last day and tomorrow was too late, could you say goodbye to yesterday? Would you live each moment like your last?
Alright, I'm the 9th grade counselor here at Rockwall Heath High School, Jennifer Macaluso.
I'm Tom McGlisco. I'm the principal at Heath High School, the proud principal at Heath High School.
Hello, I'm Michael Napier. I teach 10th grade AP World History at Rockwall Heath High School.
All right, thank you. In your opinion, what is the leading factor that causes kids to drop out?
Probably one of the leading factors is going to be their home situation, their home life, their family situation.
Frustration.
The one that I see the most is an inability to see the future clearly.
I don't think that there's a leading factor. If I were to try and sum it up to anything, I think what I see most often is that we have students who have lost hope.
That's a huge factor, and if a student doesn't have that support, they're more likely to drop out.
When you lose hope, it just becomes kind of a rolling snowball down a hill.
I think students get very, very frustrated with what is being asked of them. They don't see the purpose in it. They're not seeing the big picture of what is going to happen as they become adults and how beneficial education is to them.
He said each day's a gift and not a given right. Leave no stone unturned, leave your fears behind.
What are the other factors?
It all ties together. Economics, sometimes they need money, their family needs money, and they feel it's more important to go get a job now and bring in minimum wage to help the family out, as opposed to getting an education so they can get a better job later to help pay the bills even better in the future.
The students said that finances were an important factor in the decision to drop out, as one student has stipulated that they felt the need to drop out because their parents were unable to pay for expenses.
They do it for a reason. I mean, I kind of like to think that high school dropouts do it more for reasons like family, and because I know someone that dropped out because of their family, but not just because they hate school.
Oh, definitely school environment, social situation.
Being totally unprepared because they have not chosen to do what they need to do in previous years, setting themselves up for not being prepared for the courses they need this time in order to be successful.
Through a survey conducted in Rockwall Heath High School, it was shown that the majority of the sample of students do well academically and have not considered dropping out of high school, but they do agree that the workload is stressful.
Thank you. What are your views on teen pregnancy in relation to dropping out?
It is a factor. Teen pregnancy is a factor in a student's choice to drop out. Sometimes it's even almost an excuse.
Some young pregnant mothers do decide that they would rather drop out than continue on with their school, but in the state of Texas we have a lot of things available to make sure that the students still have the opportunity to meet their requirements to graduate and graduate on time if they're willing to work with us.
It's a tough thing for someone who takes parenting so seriously. It's tough to see that someone kind of uses the excuse if they get pregnant, then they don't need to go to school anymore. But I would say that if someone is pregnant, all the more reason for them to finish their education, because again, as someone takes parenting very seriously, you owe it to your kid, even before they're born, to set yourself up to be successful for them.
I think that that's normally done because they need to take care of their baby. I mean, that's pretty important. They can always go back to school later. In my opinion, they need to take care of their baby more.
Obviously, having children is what keeps humanity going, so that's important. But there's always a good time and a bad time, and having children when you're a teenager is not a good time, and it just adds more pressure on the student. They instantly have much larger responsibilities, and that crying baby isn't going to wait, whereas the homework might. And
Once you find that one you're dreaming of, swear up and down you gotta love. That's just finally fall in love.
How much do you think a student's home life affects their future in school?
Tremendously. Studies have shown repeatedly that what goes on at home is much more influential than what goes on in the school. We do see them, for several hours a day, but they will see each teacher, for an hour a day at most, whereas they're at home with their parents, the majority of their lives.
I think a student's home life is extremely important, and having been on all levels of education, elementary, middle, and high school, you really see the difference, or let's say that the Head Start kids get when they have a strong home life. And I think we put, in this day and age, I think there are too many families, too many parents that just kind of have a chaotic home life, and it doesn't always mean that automatically does a student in. Stability means a lot of different things to a lot of different kids, but that stability there when they're young is so important. Middle school, as you all may remember, are some very tough years for kids. There's a lot of things happening to them, and I think again the stability at home helps kids to stay on track. And then
Probably a great deal. We can only do so much here at school, but we only have you for 6.5 hours a day. The rest of the time you're associated with your home life.
On average, how many students do you think drop out of high school every year?
More than I would like to consider. We fight real hard for the students that we have at Rockwall Heath High School to show them viable alternatives that can
nationwide or just here at this school?
At this school and then nationwide.
And I can't answer the nationwide. As you guys keep researching, you might get a better picture. I probably should know that. I don't. But we, in the state of Texas, I can tell you this, that schools are charged with a 2% rule. And the 2% rule is that a school will get counted down in their performance rating if their dropout rate is greater than 2%. Parents and even some of my colleagues don't entirely know how much and how hard we work every year to try and recapture kids, because just because a kid in his senior year quits, he's not yet a dropout. A dropout is going to be someone who then another calendar year goes by and they're still not in school. We work real hard to get seniors back. To get
Too many.
How surprised would you be if I told you approximately 1.2 million students drop out every year?
Not at all. Now, is that a local number or a national number?
National.
That's a national number. Actually, I would have expected it to be higher.
Against the grain should
Do you have any warnings or advice for students who might be thinking of dropping out?
Take a breath and think and try to use a crystal ball to see in the future, to see how important it is to tough this out. No matter how bad things may be in life, we have two choices. Do we want to make it better or make it worse? And dropping out of high school will never make it better.
talk to your counselor, talk to your teachers, talk to your principal, talk to somebody who has been there, done that. If nothing else, come see me. I will see if I can connect you with the one teacher we have on this campus who was a high school dropout. Getting them more enthused about education and opportunities and what their future plans are.
Make it a capital offense. Hang some of the dropouts from the goalposts on the football field, and that will send a message to the others.
I mean, I have friends who are high school dropouts. I saw them hanging from the goalpost the other day. It scared the living crap out of me. I mean, after that, I have to finish my education. I don't want to hang from a goalpost.
Just joking. We just need to make sure and help them see how important it is in the long term for them to stay in school, as opposed to achieving short-term goals by dropping out.
How could you tell if a student was about to drop out? What warnings would they give off, maybe, or changes in behavior?
General, well, obviously you look at grades. Most A students don't drop out, so you start seeing a decline in grades. This frequently is a sign that there's other outside pressures.
The biggest one is a failure to continue to complete assignments, the decision to not be a part of school by being truant in a great number of classes, sometimes skipping one class altogether instead of and going to the others, sometimes it's skipping all of them.
Reminisce on memories, would you forget your